Hello, my name's Jason Kennedy and I'm with The Ear. Today I'm joined by Trevor Butler.
Hello.
And Trevor is an expert on loudspeakers, but he also knows a thing or two about amplifiers. And recently you've reviewed the Hegel H600, the new flagship integrated amplifier and streamer from Hegel. What can you tell me about this amplifier, this huge black amplifier?
It is. It's a very dark grey. It's almost black. It's the absolute pinnacle of integrated amplifiers. We've been waiting a long time for Hegel to produce this. There were supply problems in the electronic chain post the COVID pandemic, and then where Hegel sourced their DAC chips from, the factory in Japan had a fire, and that further delayed finishing. But now we have this powerhouse of 300 watts into 8 ohms and 600 watts into 4 ohm, virtually a dual mono block with a streamer and a preamp all in one box. It's absolutely incredible.
It's extraordinary, yeah, to make such a powerful integrated amplifier that is also a streamer and a DAC is quite unusual. Most people become more specialised once you get to this price point. This is how much?
This is £10,500.
So £10,500, so it's not cheap by any means. But it's supposed to be the be-all and end-all of streaming amplifiers.
So this is the absolute pinnacle Hegel say they can produce at the moment. It's designed by them in Norway, it's built in China, it's typical Scandinavian minimalism in its looks, and I was slightly disappointed it now doesn't have a headphone socket, which some of their lesser models does. Hegel say that to produce a headphone output of commensurate quality as the main output would have boosted the price considerably, and so they suggest that people use an external headphone amp. And for similar reasons we don't have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, because they find that denigrates the sound quality.
Well, it does, doesn't it? Unfortunately, adding wireless capability to any piece of audio equipment has been proven to make the sound quality worse. It basically brings more noise into the chassis and undermines sound quality that way. So even though it's quite convenient to have these facilities and you can find them on much cheaper products, if you're making a product like this, which is designed primarily for sound quality, it's a compromise worth making, I think.
It is. They have gone absolutely all out for sound quality, and I've tried it now on 5 or 6 different loudspeakers ranging from £1,800 to £12,000, and the sonic abilities of this absolutely incredible. I've never heard an all-in-one audio solution of this standard, actually. Normally you have to go for separate streamer, DAC, preamp and mono blocks to reach this level.
Right.
So it's really quite impressive what they've managed to do.
Yeah, well, that's the important thing, isn't it? And it's not a Class D, is it? It's not cheap power, for want of a better word. It's a proper Class AB amplifier. It weighs 22 kilos. It's a serious proposition. The fact that it does all these things might undermine it in the eyes of a sort of keen audiophile. They might think, well, it's got too much. There are too many features. How can it possibly be any good? But it seems they've been able to both put those features in it, the streamer, the DAC, and retain the sound quality that they're renowned for.
And the streaming capabilities are incredible. I mean, it's Roon ready, it's got Chromecast, it's got AirPlay, it's got Tidal, it's got Spotify, you name it, you can stream, but any of the standard remote apps seem to work fairly well. I had no problems at all, and using Apple AirPlay on my phone or iPad, it worked like a dream, actually. Hegel don't have their own app, but I had no trouble using any of the standard apps that you can download.
Oh, okay.
And then on AirPlay you could just use your phone or iPad and it works really well. Plenty of coaxial and optical inputs. It's got XLR and RCA analog inputs, so it's really well catered for.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive, isn't it? As far as sound quality oriented sort of formats are concerned, Bluetooth really isn't about sound quality, it's about convenience.
Yeah, even with aptX.
There's still limits, it's still clearly limited. Especially if you put it through an amplifier of this quality and commensurately sort of decent loudspeakers, you will hear the limitations of Bluetooth rather easily.
I was thinking if this came from a German manufacturer, it would easily be £25,000, and from a Swiss manufacturer, 35,000. And Hegel have managed to put all this into a single chassis at a really good price. And they were conscious of that price point and aiming for something that they thought would sell in larger volumes around the world. The sound output, I mean, the bass is just thunderous.
Really?
The dynamics. From a single box amplifier, I've never heard dynamics like it.
Wow. Right.
And it does everything so effortlessly as well. You just think it's got so much more in reserve, and you turn the volume up and everything's so clean, and the detail it extracts from the music.
Sure, yeah.
It doesn't sound like an integrated, it sounds like separate electronics.
Right, yeah. That's I guess it has to, doesn't it?
Yes.
At this price point, you can get very good pre-power amplifiers. You could probably get a separate streamer, preamp and power amplifier for the same price from a sort of well-regarded brand. So it has to perform well. I guess it's for people who want great sound quality but not many boxes.
The convenience and the elegance, really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you call it minimalist, but
it is elegant.
It's just clean, isn't it? It doesn't. It's not covered in buttons and switches.
And that and a pair of loudspeakers is all you need, so it can sit in a domestic environment and not be obtrusive.
True, but if you want, but so can a Bluetooth loudspeaker.
Oh right. Yes.
I think by normal standards it's quite substantial, but by sort of high-end hi-fi standards,
it's not bling bling, is it?
Not. No, you're right.
You can turn the front display off, and it's still playing. You don't really even know it's there.
Right.
It just fades into the background of the room.
Right.
It could sit under the television, out of the way.
Yeah, I suppose that is the point. It's for people who want great sound quality but don't want lots of boxes, which is quite a large segment of the market now. There was a time when it was, quite fashionable, quite popular to have piles of boxes, but because people don't have the space and they don't want to devote so much space in their living rooms to hi-fi, it's probably a really good solution.
Yeah, I'm sorry to see it go. It's a very, very well engineered, well built, competent, all-in-one audio solution, and I'm sure it'll find favour in many of Hegel's global markets.
You're probably right. Good. Thank you. If you'd like to find out more about the Hegel H600, you can read Trevor's full review on the ear. There's a link below.